What's up, world? It's your boy Lucky, and today we're gonna discuss Fat Joe. Now, everybody's talking about Fat Joe because he snapped on his IG live on Cuban Links. Now, let's rewind just a little bit. You know, Cuban Links had recently done an interview, was going in on Fat Joe, talking shit about him. He was calling him a snitch. You know, he was acting like he was a straight up bitch, like he don't have no heart. So he posted up his paperwork saying he testified or he snitched on some murder that happened years ago and so on and so forth. Everybody online, like, I don't know, Fat Joe a snitch. I done heard rumors about years ago about he told on some murder because, you know, I am familiar with New York City. I have had conversations, but it hasn't been no absolute proof that that man is a snitch. No proof has popped up. And that paperwork, man, I got to be real. That shit looked fugazi. It did not look real. It didn't have no stamps. It didn't have like the certified court documents. It just looked like somebody typed that shit up. It didn't look official. So as soon as I saw the paperwork, I'm like, oh man, that don't look official, man. Because somebody could just type some shit up and make some shit and just post it and say, you a rat, you snitched, you ain't loyal, you a bitch. All this type of stuff. You ain't really street, blase, blase. But Fat Joe has been out since the early 90s, ladies and gentlemen. He has been out for many years. And his jacket has been clean so far. Now, when success builds, rumors build. You have to realize that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to keep it real. But it's a lot of people saying, he a snitch, he a snitch. And they're a fucking rat and snitch themselves. As soon as motherfuckers start throwing on football numbers, or you could just be simply talking about going to jail, have to make bail and get out, they get scared and start rat-tooting, start telling. I'm telling. So I don't really think that's true. Fat Joe was saying like he jealous, he envious. He's been successful for years. You know, he just recently had like a high-profile party. And NYC was all over the internet. It was Ashanti was there, all the celebrities, all his friends. It was packed. But he said a lot of people didn't come to the New York City party because it was limited. It didn't have that many space for people, and that made people jelly. And Cuban Links, every 4 or 5 years, he come out and talk shit about Fat Joe, like, yo, fuck you, I don't like you, you ain't street, you ain't who you say you is. I remember when he got caught up with that taxes. He was saying he was broke the whole time. He ain't had no cheese. I'm like, I don't think Fat Joe is broke. I think he got caught up in a tax situation and had to go to the peanut gallery. It happens. He wasn't keeping up with it. It is what it is. But the Cuban Links guy, I'm like, what is his success really besides talking about Fat Joe? Now, he's with Terror Squad back in the day. And he had some verses and some shit I like that he did, but that was many years ago. I don't know, currently in the last 10, 15 years, what has he really done? I don't know if he dropped some music lately. I don't know none of that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, he say he's official, he's street. Now, I heard some people say in New York City that he official out in the streets. He definitely done did some shit. He done stand tall. He done did what he had to do. You know, he got slashed in the face. I know he got into it with like Big Pun rumored back in the day. Fat Joe, they fell out. And he done dealt with other street issues and politics. So I understand how he can speak to that caliber about somebody. But it have to be true, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, Cuban Links. You're supposed to be a tough guy. You gotta come with some more proof than that, man. You gotta show some stamped court documents. It just can't be no paperwork you post and say he a snitch. That's the case. Anybody can do that. Anybody can be like, yo, here's some paperwork. Lucky a snitch. And my background clean. But somebody can just make up some shit. That's just the way it goes, ladies and gentlemen. So I can't say Fat Joe a rat. I ain't fucking with Fat Joe no more. I mean, I've been listening to his music for years. He come with hits. He come with his good music. He do his feature game. He blew up a lot of artists. We wouldn't know who Cuban Links even is if it wasn't for Fat Joe and Big Pun. coming with the Cuban Links, coming with the Terror Squad albums and things of that nature. He blew up DJ Khaled, Remy Ma. He definitely done dropped some bombs on the industry. And he has kept himself relevant over the years. I will give him that. Now, I look at him a little sideways, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to that Big Pun situation. Because I'm like, damn, Big Pun family had to move back to the projects. They was back in Bronx trying to figure out what they gonna do after his untimely death. I believe back in 2000. He been gone for 20 years, a little over 20 years now. I'm like, what happened to his publishing, his royalties? Came out with 2 albums, and he was on the Terror Squad shit, he done features. Where that moolah at? But I don't know if Fat Joe owned his music or one of the record labels owned it. Nevertheless, she been up shit creek without a paddle for years. Now I know she went to court recently and got some shit, I think it's publishing and stuff like that. But if you don't know what to do with a catalog, it's just gonna sit there and not make no money. You have to know what you're doing to enable to earn some money. That's the thing. It's not royalties. There's a difference between royalties and publishing. The Cuban Links, he was saying he don't see nothing off that music he did back then. Not one dime. He said he could have been sued Fat Joe. I'm like, now, speaking on some business shit, I would have sued him. I would have got my money. There's no way in the hell I would have put in all that work and not sue his ass. They had all them bars on studio time. He was on the road. I would have sued. But a lot of them rappers, they don't read them contracts. They don't do their due diligence. They don't do what they have to do. And that's nobody's fault but their own. You on that road receiving that cake, you gotta do something with it. When the stove hot, you gotta cook. That's just the way it is. And you can't do no interview every time, every couple of years, 4 or 5 years, and talk about one certain person, and that's your claim to fame, trying to expose that person. I won't waste my time on one person so much. Now, I'm not saying I won't talk no shit about nobody, because I will. I don't give a fuck. Plain and simple. But just wasting years and years and years and not having nothing to present to the public, nah, man, you gotta put in that work while you talking that shit. That's the way it go. So comment below. Tell me what you think about that situation. Do you think Fat Joe is a straight up rat and he ate that cheese? Do you think Cuban Links is right? Do you think Cuban Links is jealous of Fat Joe's success over these last few decades? Tell me what you think, man. Peace and love. It's your boy Lucky.